Hi guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Today we are here just to do a little bit of a discussion and a reflection on some football violence that has gone on recently. Uh, it's primarily with Marseille, but he also wanted to touch on other such similar instances that have been going on over the last year or two in the game of football. Before we dive into it, though, I just wanted to remind you guys to just give us a quick like, share, and subscribe. Also, please feel free to share your ideas down in the comments and let us know how you're doing. But yeah, let's dive into the incidents that occurred this past game week. Uh, when Lyon played Nice away. Nice were
Marseille.
leading. Oh, sorry, my bad. Marseille were playing Nice away, and Nice were leading 1-0. And Dimitri Payet was heading up towards to get a corner, and apparently a few bottles were thrown at him. And at one point, Payet decided to pick one bottle up and toss it back into the crowd, and that led into fans rushing onto the pitch and actually attacking the players, which ended up becoming into a big row. Players fought other players. Security got involved. Lots of injuries in there. Apparently, Christophe Galtier got his hands dirty as well in the whole incident. In the end, what ended up happening was they had to suspend the match. At one point, the Liga authorities said that the match was okay to proceed. The Nice players came onto the pitch. They were shaping up for the corner. The referee was on the pitch as well, but Marseille players refused to step out. And the Marseille president basically said that the game was not going to go on because he cared for the safety of the Marseille players. With that sort of backdrop, Karthik, what do you have to say about this instance?
Uh, I am probably fed up of this attitude. So it's been like what 18 to 20 odd months since fans have had the chance to like get into a stadium. And the first opportunity that you get, you turn to complete hooligans. I mean, what's the difference between you and a crook? You've just like lowered your standards, lowered the name of your club, lowered whatever reputation that you have. We all talk about, oh, fans are being distant from football. It's changed. It's all corporate nowadays. Things have changed. Stadiums don't feel like home. Yeah, they don't feel like home because I mean, if you're this close to that stadium, this close to the playing arena where you can like just jump right in and whack anyone with anything, it's very obvious that now teams will have running tracks, barriers, and whatnot to separate you guys from the actual players who are playing on the field, right? So I am totally disappointed by this behavior. I want to say that it's not the entire fan base that's at fault. It's a certain section. Call it the ultras, call it some of the ultras, I don't care. But punishment should be meted out to each individual. Otherwise, you're not doing justice to your players or upholding the values of the game and the league in general.
Yeah, and again, this isn't even a first off. Last week when Marseille played Montpellier, similar incident happened. There was an object thrown. I don't think the object was identified, and it ended up injuring a Marseille center midfielder. I believe his name was Valentin Rongier.
On
I
the
haven't
Yep.
and that match was also paused for a while, although they did go on to finish the match. But again, that was another incident within just the first few weeks of the game resuming, and fans coming back in the stadium. Not to mention earlier in this season, when the previous season was still being played out, there was the Marseille Ultras who broke into the Marseille Training Academy. Vandalism. Apparently, they had firecrackers and smoke bombs that were deployed. I mean, as a fan, you want the players who represent the name and honor of your club to feel safe. When an opposition team visits, you want them to be intimidated by you, but you also want to earn their respect. I mean, I'm wearing a Barcelona t-shirt. I mean, this is a Messi t-shirt which he's not even ever going to wear, but I cannot even dream of ever disrespecting a Real Madrid supporter with violence or with any kind of conduct that hurts them as an individual. Club affairs and wish wash chants and funny jokes and all of those things are great. They have their place in the game, but at some point you have to understand that these are actually human beings on the pitch. And just put yourself in their place. Like, how it just it baffles me when we see incidents like this. And of course these are just examples of physical violence, not to mention the racism that's been prevalent all across the league, most highlighted in Syria. Even during the Euros, there were issues. There have been issues where England fans have been caught booing players taking the knee. So it's not just down to physical violence. There are so many ways in which fans can be toxic, and no matter what you say about the culture being more corporate, about football turning into a business, when a player is on the pitch, the voice that he listens to is the fans. They don't care about who's watching the match thousands of miles away on a TV screen or who's sponsoring their kit. They are listening to the fans in the stadium, and that's their first and most impactful source of input. So when you are going to the stadium, you have the biggest burden of any fan that represents that club. Please, I didn't want to monopolize the
Hmm.
conversation. What do you have to say about
So
this?
yeah, yeah. Apart from physical violence, apart from actions that endanger the safety of a footballer on the field, now it's also turned its ugly head towards playing staff, non-playing staff, and their families. Abuse on social media. For example, Arsenal's technical director Edu, his daughter is receiving abuse online on Instagram and other social media channels because she's posting something about her father or her family, and fans are actually disgruntled about the activity or lack of transfer activity thereof. So where does where does the line stop? I mean, where do you draw the line? Why do you want to involve someone's family member? Would you like tolerating abuse towards your family member for something that they don't even know about or that they aren't even responsible for? And all of these activities are done by people who are faceless. They are just another anonymous or another stranger in the virtual world, hiding behind a fake profile with a fake photo, a fake bio, and just just being keyboard warriors. And the untraceability or the obscurity of the internet is what empowers them. So I think big tech, social media companies, organizations should actually take more steps to figure out how they can improve on this situation and not just let anything slide away.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for bringing that point. It just remembered the whole Alvaro Morata situation during the Euros as well, when he, not just him, but his family were on the receiving end of even death threats, which is just it's remarkable. And for anybody who says that it may have just been a joke, or it's just fan frustration, or like they were never going to actually act on it, that really is not the point. If I come up to your face and threaten you with something, it doesn't matter whether I actually intended to do it or not, but just the idea that something like this can happen, is it can affect players and families in unreal ways. I mean, as professionals, they are meant to deal with stress on the pitch. They're meant to deal with situations and being from losing positions, trying to win out, trying to be in a relegation fight or in a Champions League final. They're meant to deal with that sort of pressure. They are not meant to deal with death threats and objects being thrown at their faces, and the fear that somebody from the crowd at some point is gonna throw a punch at their face. That's not what the game is about, and that is not what these players are trained to handle. So there's just absolutely no room for violence. There is no room for racism. There is no room for any kind of toxic vitriolic abuse in the game. And if there are, if any person who has ever even had such a thought is watching this video by any chance, please just look to yourself and think about how you would feel if you were in that position. And if you feel that you could handle it, that's great for you, but think that other people may not be the same. Yeah,
Um,
that.
I really feel that whoever has such thoughts, I mean, just take a long, hard look at yourself, or probably try doling out the same abuse to someone in your family, just for fun, right? I mean, you wanted this to be banter, and you want to take this banter to the next level, right? So try it on your family, try it on someone really close, try it on your co-workers and see how they react. The reaction is going to be negative. You know that without even trying it out. So why do it on someone who's actually representing your club? Why do it on someone who's connected to players, who families? Those are families, and they have normal lives. Why do you want to involve them into something that you feel is going wrong? And what's the point in abusing them when nothing is going to change? Abusing the family member of a football player is not going to improve results on the pitch. I don't know what sort of connection that is. I hope people can take cognizance of these facts and act act like proper professionals and normal human beings.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. There is no connection. There is just no connection.